perfect.
Timing is everything.
It
Yeah,
is.
timing is everything. So we're very excited to be partnering with you, and look forward to kicking off 2020 on a very positive note.
Well, a lot of people are like, you mean Mike Richards is sponsored by Bell? Because
no, this is a much better Bell.
Yes,
This is a different Bell.
This is a different Bell completely.
as we like to say, this is the good Bell.
Yeah, this is a much better Bell. Yeah.
Yes, and so for people who are not familiar, and this is one of the reasons why media is important to companies. What is Bell? Where do they find it? What? Tell us about Bell Lifestyle Products.
Yeah, I can go back to the beginning. We don't have to go too far back. It was 1996, and the gentleman that founded the company at that time, Nick Jurch, he got things rolling. He was 65 years old. This was not his first career, and he did not plan to be in the natural health product segment, but he ended up there really because of his own personal issues. And he kicked off an incredible business with shark cartilage, believe it or not. He was struggling with joint pain, and he launched this into the marketplace, and it exploded. And from the original product, it expanded out to more than 50 products geared to different health concerns, health issues, product categories. So we've got quite a significant business at the moment.
And this is, when you think about it, Dave, this is like a definition of a real entrepreneur, like someone.
Very much so.
Right?
Yeah, I'd say like a serial entrepreneur. Well, here's a guy that I think is the perfect Canadian success story. Really, he immigrated to Canada in, I believe, the 50s. I didn't get a chance to meet him. I really wish I had.
Right.
But he immigrated to Canada. He started working different jobs here and there. And then he ended up in the distribution business in outdoor sporting goods. Really, it started with hardware, equipment, things like that. And the business grew through the 70s, and here he is reaching 65, where most guys are looking to retire. And this guy's having some health issues, and he starts doing some searches for some different products that might be a solution to the aches and pains he was having. And actually, one of his employees suggested he try shark cartilage, and from there, a new business was born. A whole new success story was born, really.
And it's a massive success story. And Dave, like, you're someone, because of all the sports you played, all the bumps and bruises, joints, all those kinds of things. Things like shark cartilage now, it seems to be like people sort of recognize it for what it is, and fish oils too. Like if you go to
Very
anywhere,
much so.
fish oil is huge, because I know you do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I do daily supplements, like a daily vitamin, a daily B12, magnesium at night. Just different aspects that I feel that a company like Bell will. You enhance a diet. A diet is supposed to carry so many things, but if you want to top up, if you want all your fluids in your body, so to speak, they make that comparison to the car. The car will run great as its own. Do you want it to run at maximum capacity? That's, I think, where you guys come in, and where you can kind of specifically specialize in what is ailing, what is missing in your diet, what are you wanting to improve upon. And I think that's where the combination of your company and any human being at any walk of life, be it super athlete or Joe Public, would really come in handy.
Yeah, it's interesting, the analogy with a car, and I think all of us, having driven cars for many years, and as our cars age and they start to fall apart, we forget that our bodies are doing the same thing.
Yep.
And so, we're really focused on the consumer that is kind of the 40, 45 and up sort of thing, and then male leaning. And when we think about a lot of the guys in that zone now, they've been rough on their bodies, whether it's through sports or labor, jobs, hard work, and the stresses of the day. I mean, just driving in here this morning, coming down the 410, it's like, oh boy, here we go again, right?
Yeah.
So, you've got a lot of these things going on in all aspects of life. It's hitting you 24/7. So the way that I've looked at supplements, and I've been in this segment for 30 years, it's been a long, long ride, and I've watched the growth in the category. I look at it from a perspective that these products are helpers along the way. They're going to lengthen out the approach to something. It is like maintenance on the car. It's like you can extend the use of it. Your body is going to last longer. It's going to perform better. and you're going to feel better. And just stepping into this category, you're going to start to tune into health in a whole different way than you may have before.
You are listening and watching Raw Mike Richards, now brought to you by Bell Lifestyle Products. We are in the Bell Lifestyle studio, which is so cool to say. Tim Allen, who is representing Bell Lifestyle, and it's I would say the direction now under the Allen regime. Hopefully they're not saying that at work, because that didn't sound good. That sounds like Mike Babcock kind of. Are you making the employees? Are you making Doug get up and say all the guys you don't think are working tough?
He already seems way better, way better than what you just said.
Oh, they'll be poking some fun at me, I'm sure. But no, you know what? We're a Mississauga-based business, and it made sense to start to build out the business in a grassroots way. And this was what happened 24 years ago, almost 24 years ago, when Nick started the business. He started advertising products in local newspapers, German published newspapers, I believe.
Yeah.
But he started to expand. And of course, when we look at where print media is today, we're looking at shifting gears. We know that we've got to step up, and we felt that working with a local radio station, but also expanding that out with the different media that's available, made a lot of sense. And we wanted to be more Mississauga focused, more Mississauga centric. We've got a lot of customers in this area. We've got lots of retailers stocking the products and educating the consumer and intercepting them at the stores to have discussion around different health needs.
Okay, let me ask you this, Tim. Where listeners, viewers right now on this station, where can they find your product, and how do they get in touch with your product to make that connection?
Yeah, the best, there's stores that are in the Mississauga area, right across the GTA for that matter. We've got Nature's Source. I've worked with Sanjeev Jagoda for years. He's done a terrific job. He's got a store in Mississauga, Oakville, Rexdale, and has expanded his business further with some of the Metro stores. We've got Village Pharmacy out of Port Credit that has satellite stores all throughout Mississauga, Brampton area. We've got the folks at the Apple Market, Frank and Maryland. Boy, they're fantastic if you want some great feedback on health issues. We've got Healthy Planet doing a terrific job for us.
Yep.
I mean, we've got lots of these stores, and we're really thankful for the distribution and for the support that the retailers have given us.
Yeah, and so, but you're also national as well. You can.
We
find
are.
It, yeah.
We're right across the country. We are, coast to coast. We do a terrific job right from St. John's in Newfoundland out to Victoria in the west. And we've been at it for quite some time, so it shows.
Now, the one thing that, when you and I started talking about this was, obviously I've been pretty public about the health battles that I've had. So having rectal cancer was something that is part of my story and will continue. And I'll have more information about that. But in 2020, it looks like I could get my life back in terms of losing the ostomy bag, which is pretty gets emotional when I start talking about the possibility, because I thought that was gone. And a big part of that is going to be my I'm going to have to be a healthier guy, going to have to take care of myself. And when you get in past 45, past 50, you start needing a little help. And so when we start talking about the Bell Lifestyle products and their lines of products, there's going to be a lot of them that are going to be extremely helpful in me getting back to being a healthy person. But to be clear on this, and this is the one thing I think that we want to get across, as we will all year long. You talked about some of the local guys who I'm hoping we'll have in from time to time. We'll have questions, because guys always do. I know prostate is a big thing that we're going to focus on, because we're now in that category where we need to be careful about that. But these aren't cures. We're not saying that these products are something that cure. That's the wrong word, isn't it, to use for this?
That's correct. Yeah, I think that these are support products, and I think you hit on an interesting one when you start to speak about prostate. And unfortunately or fortunately, I'm in the middle 50 zone, and I was dealing with nothing serious, just speaking to my doctor about different health concerns, and we were talking about prostate. It's hard to believe we just put it out there as regular conversation. And we want to make it more regular conversation, quite frankly, all these different issues. And when I asked my doctor about it, he recommended Easy Flow Tea. And I was aware of the product at the time.
You were or wasn't?
I was aware, but
right.
I wasn't using the product. But I felt it was I thought it was very interesting that he recommended it by name and wrote it down.
Hand it over to me while you're talking, so I could just hold it up for the camera.
Yeah, and he suggested I try it. And so following up afterwards, and I've used it, it's a fabulous product, and I said to him afterwards, why is it that you recommended that product versus, say, a drug therapy or something? So you don't need drug therapy. You don't need drug therapy, and you don't need surgery. You're not at a point like that. My complaint had been that the plumbing just wasn't, the tap wasn't working as well as I would like it to work. And he suggested trying this, and he says, I think you'll find some success. And he was right. It's been fantastic. So this is the stepping stone as we go forward. That's really where these products fit in.
Well, just how helpful is Tim Allen? Well, he is so helpful. He is so helpful that a very famous artist had come in to do something very special. Corey Hart. Vision care, arthritis, joint pain, and healthy hair, but that ain't enough. That ain't enough for Jim. Yeah, see, it's beautiful.
I thought it was my phone ringing, actually.
There you go. People say, what was that? What is that morning wood all about?
Well, I heard that was a Health Canada approved claim through one of my trade associates, so, the message is getting out.
Oh, it's so fun. I said, over the period of time now that we are going to be sponsored, obviously, from Bell Lifestyle Products, and in the Bell Lifestyle Studio, we're going to have some of those issues. We'll do it on a regular basis. I mean, it's up to us. We can figure out what it is that your questions are, because, as I said, at this point in our lives, you're in, as you said, all of a sudden you're having a conversation. You wonder, even something like, it was a couple of years, a buddy of mine said, actually two of them, with gout. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what it was.
I have a funny story on this. I experienced gout for the very first time.
See, a lot of people don't have funny gout stories.
No,
I just want to point that out.
Well, the funny story with this, I don't know if my wife is listening or not, but when I woke up one morning and I said to her, I've got gout. She said, what do you mean you've got gout? And I said, well, I just know there's a gentleman that I work with, Hugh, and this guy, he was stumbling and tripping into the office summer of 2018. And I looked at him, what's going on with you? He's got gout. And so, yeah, for sure I had gout. And my wife looked at me, she says, oh, you're not one of those type of people. What do you mean those type? I'm a person in pain. You do not want gout. And gout affects men about 7 to 1 against what women would experience.
Really?
And so, yeah, it's the uric acid buildup, and it crystallizes. And mine was textbook classic in the toe. Yeah. It was nasty. I've had the plantar fasciitis, but that was a joke compared to this. This was the worst. Wow. This was the worst.
Well, it's interesting because you talk about some of the issues, bladder, gout, we brought up prostate. We brought up sleeping problems.
Yeah,
I mean, the three of us here will probably wake up 4 a.m. at average, and that's not what a regular human being is supposed to do to its body, especially going to bed at 11, 12, or sometimes earlier, sometimes later, waking up at 4, having a problem because that next night you're only basing it on 5 hours of sleep. Sometimes you think it's instant sleep, and it really isn't. And it's just situations like that, and that's where you'd go to your health food shop and say, what product do you recommend? Here are my issues. Here are my problems. This is what I'd like to improve. This is what I feel is lacking. And that's where, these would come in handy. And it's different people for different problems.
And that's the key, is that it is different products, different people, different issues. We're all unique. And you need to find products that work for you, and we know that we've got great products that work.
Tim, I can't thank you enough for coming in this morning, for your company, having the confidence in sponsoring the show, sponsoring the studio, and it's that kind of grassroots support that is it's vital. It's certainly vital in our business, and we are just thrilled at this partnership. I mean,
I think Nick would be 2 thumbs up on this. This is how it starts.
That makes us feel good.
Yeah, for sure.
And thank the family for us, because that's
for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know this isn't our last time meeting.
No.
So great meeting you for the first time.
Yeah. I really appreciate it. It's been fabulous. Thanks so much.
Does Bell make rye? I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Well, it's in product development. It's but we love to hear from consumers and we love to hear from you, Mike. I'm sure you have lots of great product suggestions over the coming months, coming years.
Oh, yeah, some ideas.
Everyone in the office just went, oh, my God, no. God, no. Thanks so much, Timmer. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That is Tim Allen from Bell Lifestyle Products, the new sole sponsor of Raw Mike Richards, and from now, the Bell Lifestyle Studio. Traffic on the 5s right now brought to you by Casino Woodbine, Toronto's home for gaming and entertainment. Must be 19 to play if you gamble.